All right, today we're diving into the story of a truly unique figure in history. This was a man who wasn't just a prophet, but also a king, and he was granted a kingdom with powers that, honestly, defy imagination.
But a story like this, it kind of forces us to step back and ask a really big question, right? One that you can find echoed through all of history and even in our own lives today. What is true power?
Is it what we usually think of? The ability to command these huge armies, to move legions with just a single word? Or maybe it's about ruling entire nations, shaping the destinies of millions of people and leaving your mark on the world map. Or could it be something more, something deeper, something that goes way beyond just worldly might and authority? That is the question right at the heart of the story we're exploring. So let's get right into it. We are talking about Prophet Sulaiman, who is the son of the great prophet Dawood. Now, what's fascinating is that he inherited more than just a throne. He inherited a divine mission, this dual role that was going to test him in some truly extraordinary ways. And here's the thing, the very foundation of his incredible reign, it wasn't wealth, it wasn't military might. Nope, it was wisdom, a profound gift he was given by God, right from a very young age. And we see this wisdom in action really early on. So there's this dispute, right? It's brought before his father, the king, Dawood, and Dawood gives a judgment that's totally fair, based on all the facts presented. But then God inspires the young Suleiman with this deeper level of insight, which leads to a much more precise, a more nuanced solution. It was a crystal clear sign that his wisdom was something special, something divinely guided. And that wisdom, well, that became the very foundation for his entire reign. As king, Suleiman was given command over a kingdom that was just unlike any other, with powers that went so far beyond anything a normal human could ever experience. Just look at this stuff. He had authority over the wind itself. The wind would literally carry him and his entire army across these vast distances in a flash. He commanded the jinn, these powerful, unseen beings, and they built magnificent structures and crafted these incredible works for him. And of course, maybe the most famous one, he was given the ability to understand the speech of animals. But here's the million-dollar question, right? When you have all of this unimaginable power, what does that do to you? What was his character like? Did it corrupt him? Absolutely not. In fact, it was the exact opposite. His immense power was matched only by his profound humility. I want you to just picture this for a second. Suleiman's grand army, this incredible coordinated force of men, jinn, and even birds, is marching through a valley. It's a display of power so immense you'd think you could shake the very earth. And yet, right in the middle of all that overwhelming might, a tiny voice is heard. It's the voice of a single ant warning its colony to get back to their homes. Think about it. A creature so small it could be crushed and no one would ever even notice. So what does the most powerful king on the planet do? He hears the ant's plea, and he smiles. He didn't just ignore it or dismiss it, he acknowledged it. It's such a brilliant little moment that shows his compassion, his awareness, even for the absolute smallest of God's creatures. And this was his perspective all the time. Every single time he witnessed one of these miracles, he never, ever claimed that power for himself. He always recognized it for what it was. A fadl, which means a bounty, a gift from his Lord. And more than anything, he saw it as a test of whether he would be grateful or ungrateful. Now, this test of his character, it really comes to a head in his encounter with the powerful Queen of Sheba. She was the ruler of this great kingdom, and her people worshiped the sun. So here's the choice for Suleiman. Does he use force or does he use wisdom? And his approach? Wow. It was a total masterclass in diplomacy. He doesn't send an army, he sends an invitation. Then, he demonstrates the divine power he serves, not with violence, but by miraculously bringing her own magnificent throne right to his court in the blink of an eye before she even got there. See, it wasn't about conquest, it was about inspiration. And when she saw his wisdom and his character, she recognized the truth and accepted the faith on her own terms. But the final, ultimate lesson of Suleiman's life, the thing that really seals his legacy, it's not actually told in how he lived with power, but in how he left this world. Okay, the story is just incredible. He actually passes away while he's standing, just leaning on his staff, supervising the jinn as they're working. And for a long, long time, they just kept on working, totally unaware that their powerful master was gone. It was only when a tiny insect slowly, methodically gnawed away at the base of his wooden staff that it finally gave way, and his body fell. And only then did everyone realize the truth.
So what's the big takeaway here? His death was this powerful final demonstration. It proved, without a shadow of a doubt, that even beings as powerful as the jinn, they do not have knowledge of the unseen. That kind of absolute, hidden knowledge, it belongs to God and God alone. So when you look at the whole story, the life of Prophet Sulaiman really teaches us something profound. That ultimate power, it isn't about controlling kingdoms or armies or even the forces of nature. Real true power is found in controlling our own hearts. It's about mastering humility, mastering gratitude, and mastering justice. And so, his story leaves all of us with a question that just echoes through time. In our own lives, whatever power or influence we might have, and look, that could be over a company, a family, or even just over ourselves, the test is exactly the same. When you're given power, will you be grateful or ungrateful?